It's 5 o'clock and we want you to listen up right now. That's because right now there is a tornado watch in effect for parts of the viewing area tonight.
And that's just one of the many reasons our meteorologists have made this a weather impact alert day. And in addition to the potential for tornadoes, we've seen rain off and on all day across central Indiana.
So let's get it over to Angela in the Weather Center with a look at what's happening right now so you know that the impact that the weather will have on your night this Tuesday night. Angela.
And Felicia, we don't want you to let your guard down. No severe weather warnings locally, but we do have that tornado watch in effect for the western part of the state until 9 p.m. And I do want to highlight just across the state line in between Springfield and the Champaign area. So out across the east sections of Illinois. So between Decatur, Bloomington, Springfield and Champaign, there have been tornado warnings. There have been confirmed tornadoes in this area, and we are watching very closely for any additional development that may happen to our south and west. The clouds and rain have really done us a big favor so far today. We still have some rain falling in the northeastern sections of our area from Hartford City to about Portland. That is moving northeast up toward the Fort Wayne area. For us locally, it's wait and see what does develop in the area south and west, where we're seeing some breaks in the cloud cover. Tornado watch for parts of western Indiana, tornado watch down to the south, and we do expect some development over the next couple of hours as that severe threat starts to increase between now and 10 o'clock. Much more in the full forecast.
Thanks, Angela. And our team of meteorologists are working to make sure that you stay safe as this system moves through central Indiana.
And you can keep track of all their work when you have downloaded the WTHR Plus app. That's where you can check out our live Doppler 13 radar, watch in-depth forecasts, stream our extended weather coverage as well.
Yes, just download WTHR Plus on your TV. It is free.
And now breaking news tonight right here at 5 o'clock. We have news of an arrest in a cold case. This is coming out of Hamilton County. This is a crime that occurred more than 30 years ago.
And just the last hour, Indiana State Police announced they'd arrested a man accused of murdering Tony Bledsoe back in 1992. Our Logan Gay joins us live from Noblesville, where she's working to learn a little bit more about this arrest.
So what have you learned, Logan?
Well, and Felicia, officials say that this mystery has haunted so many people for years, but today marks a significant breakthrough. Now, the chief deputy prosecutor says they have arrested a man named Thomas Anderson for Tony Bledsoe's murder. He was taken into custody less than 2 hours ago. Police also now believe that Tony was killed the same day he went missing in 1992. Tony Bledsoe leaves behind 3 children and a wife. During the press conference, I asked about their reaction to this arrest, and this is what they had to say.
It was a very emotional experience for them, as you would expect. I think that they are relieved to be taking a step forward towards justice and to know this has been an unanswered question. They didn't know if Tony had it was a missing person for so long, so at least to know that he didn't abandon them, that instead this happened.
Now, make no mistake that this arrest is a big deal, but Indiana State Police say that this is not the conclusion to the investigation. That's why they're asking anyone with any information about what may have happened to Tony to come forward and contact the state police. Coming up later on tonight, I'll have more about the timeline that led up to this arrest. And Felicia?
All right, Logan Gay, thank you so much. We appreciate you this afternoon. On to more news developing tonight. An Indianapolis father is in jail accused of killing his own daughter.
IMPD is calling this a heartbreaking case, and you will too once you hear the details. Our Ashton Heckman looked into the father's past and found out that this isn't the first time that man has been accused of abuse.
Metro Police say the investigation started Monday when they were called here to a home on North LaSalle Street. They say when they arrived, they found 5-year-old Zara Arnold dead with traumatic injuries.
Zara's father told police she fell down the stairs. Investigators learned that was not the case. Detectives noticed the girl had bruises on her neck.
Our child abuse detectives responded to the scene to begin their investigation, and ultimately the child's father was transported to the child abuse office for further questioning.
It was in that interview where police got a better picture of what happened. Court documents say the father admitted to choking the girl because he was having an argument with his ex-girlfriend and she drove him to do it. He said he put the girl to sleep Sunday night, and when he woke up Monday morning, Zara was unresponsive. The father told police she was struggling to breathe when she went to bed.
A child should feel safe within their home. No child should ever be subject to this type of violence, let alone within their own home where they should be safe.
This isn't the first time the father has been accused of abusing Zara. Records for the man's previous criminal cases show police submitted a report to DCS when the girl was 1 after Zara's mom noticed bruising and hand marks on her chest and back. And as recently as last Sunday, IMPD was called to check on the girl after the mom reported her daughter was strangled by the father in a Wendy's parking lot. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey, who we don't hear typically on specific criminal cases, expressed his sadness in a post on X, writing, quote, "I am heartbroken by the tragic loss of 5-year-old Zara. No child should suffer such harm, especially in a place that should feel safe, their home." A home that now sits empty as a father sits in the Marion County Jail. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
We also did receive a statement from DCS today saying, quote, "In part, our hearts break with every child fatality. This is a tragic situation. As with any child fatality, we continue to partner with our law enforcement."
And tonight we're working to find out which death row inmate the state of Indiana will execute next.
The state's second execution since resuming them back in December took place early this morning at the Indiana State Prison that's located up in Michigan City. And Michigan City is where the state put Benjamin Ritchie to death by lethal injection today. Ritchie killed Beech Grove police officer Bill Toney. That crime nearly 25 years ago.
Ritchie's attorney issued a statement following his execution saying, quote, "We continue to believe, as did half of the Indiana Supreme Court, that Ben's execution was inappropriate. Indiana executed a man with profound brain damage and developmental disabilities." Our Rich Nye interviewed Officer Toney's widow several times. She told him she has nothing more to say after speaking with the parole board last week, where she said it was time for his execution.
A dire warning tonight, and it's issued from the president of Gleaners Food Bank. He says the tax bill that's being considered by Congress right now could create a humanitarian and economic disaster if passed.
The proposal includes the largest cut to food assistance programs in U.S. history. Jenny Runovich shares the possible impact on Hoosiers.
Well, we're talking about $300 billion in funding for SNAP, food stamps that help people buy food for their families, potentially gone. Those cuts could take away millions of meals for Hoosiers in need.
It's why Gleaners CEO is warning about a crisis. The proposed federal tax bill would shift billions in SNAP benefit costs to the states. But that's something Indiana simply can't handle, so the cuts would cut deep. Gleaners estimates more than 610,000 Hoosiers, including 240,000 children and 82,000 seniors, could lose access to SNAP benefits, lose access to food. And food pantries, already seeing increased demand, are worried they won't be able to fill the gap.
This would cut 133 million meals out of the charitable food system. The entire charitable food system in Indiana last year produced 108 million meals. I mean, at some point, you can't weave gold out of straw.
It's not just hungry Hoosiers potentially impacted. At 6, why Glass says the proposed SNAP cuts would affect all of us economically. Jenny Runovich, 13 News.